Let's talk now, though, about vapes. John Dunne, Director General of the UK Vaping Industry Association, and basically the vaping business has now changed because it's now illegal to sell one-use only vapes. I think I'm right in saying. John, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. Somebody told me last week that all the shops that were selling these one-time use only vapes were selling them at a massive discount because they knew that after Sunday they wouldn't be able to sell them anymore. So it was a bit of a sort of backfired announcement, really, because there was more and more of these things sold than ever, I think.
Yeah, we saw some massive stockpiling over the weekend, which we were expecting. But nothing really about this bill, in our opinion, is going to solve very much. The devices that consumers are seeing now, for the most part, look very similar to the devices that were on sale on Sunday.
Right.
The only difference is that now they've replaced the tank with a pod system. They've got a rechargeable battery. But one of the key issues is that consumers don't understand that these products are highly recyclable. So nothing in this bill changes the way consumers act with these products. They're still going to throw them away today like they did yesterday because nothing's been done.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there are lots of ways around it, it seems to me, as well, because you can call something by another name, can't you? It doesn't have to be called a vape. It can be called, you know, a sort of, I don't know, a part-time smoking device or something. You can make up anything you like. And it ends up breaking or ends up getting around the rules. Is that right?
No, unfortunately, that's not the case. Any of the devices that are on sale legally today have to be rechargeable, they have to be refillable, and the coil has to be able to be changed. It doesn't matter what you call them.
Yeah.
All the products have to be approved by the MHRA. And they've also now included products that don't contain nicotine, which are outside of current legislation. So that's a huge change there. But the problem is, this is going to be a nightmare for trading standards to enforce. We're already looking at websites, for instance, on Amazon and some online retailers, and they're still selling disposables out there. They're still available. You know, the other area where they wanted to curb was youth appeal and youth uptake of these products.
Yeah.
Again, nothing's changed there. Nothing's going to change on youth appeal. And this is one of the reasons why we've been pushing for licensing, for instance, of vape retailers and increased fines up to £10,000 for people caught selling to minors. Now, that type of action would really, really help.
Yeah, but I mean, considering that we haven't got enough police to police the streets as it is, who are you going to use? I mean, have you got enough agents to go and visit all these shops?
Well, the agency that deals with that is Trading Standards, but they're woefully underfunded.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring in the licensing scheme, because we reckon that would raise from companies £50 million a year. They could be ring-fenced just for Trading Standards to enforce in our industry. So it would almost be a self-paying endeavour.
Right. Well, that sounds far too sensible for any government to actually take you up on. But I mean, what do you think is going to be the sort of the environment and the way it's all going to look, say, in about a month's time when it all settles down? Will there still be an awful lot of shops breaking the law, an awful lot of places where you can still get these banned vapes?
I think we're going to see a huge black market in this product. As you said, we're already seeing that some rogue retailers are still selling these products illegally. We're not going to see the enforcement that is needed. The fines are in the region of £200. That's ridiculous. Nobody's going to take that seriously. So we really need to take a look at this again. If they really wanted to help the environment, what they should have done was getting rid of the 2 milliliter tank size and make that 10 milliliters, for instance. Then you would have 80% less plastic. You would have one battery instead of 5.
Right.
And that would have been a sensible solution to this issue.
And is most of this stuff coming in from places like China? Where's most of these vapes being made?
Well, a lot of the brands are European or British. Most of these products are made in an area called Shenzhen in China. That's where the technology and the factories are located. And then they're just rebranded or redesigned by other companies.
So, yeah, so inevitably most of the money will end up in China.
At least on the production side, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, maybe we should introduce some tariffs. We have a word with Donald Trump. It could make them a bit more expensive.
The only problem with that is then you're really kind of pushing against, you know, people who are trying to quit smoking and are trying to do things better for their lives. So I don't think that would have a really good benefit either.
No, I guess that's the problem. Well, we'll keep watching this space. John, thanks very much indeed. John Dunne, Director General of the UK Vaping Industry Association. Sounds to me as though there's plenty of loopholes and there's plenty of places where you're going to be able to buy much of this so-called, underground vaping equipment now, because if it's not refillable, it's now illegal.